Voices United opens the door to understanding how substance use and addiction affects lives. And it looks to empower people and provides avenues for creating healthier lives for themselves, their families, and their community. Gabrielle Antolovich is the executive director of Voices United and host of her own talk show here on Create TV San Jose, who envisions a day when addiction does not destroy families, children, and the very fabric of society. Welcome, Gabrielle, to Outlook Video.
Thank you.
Gabrielle, can you tell us very quickly how you got involved with Voices United?
Well, Voices United is an organization that does not do treatment, and I had been working in treatment for a very long time, and I wanted to do something different but still stay in the same field. So when I showed up at a networking breakfast, within 5 minutes of announcing myself, I got a job. Now, I didn't get a job at Voices United, but I got a job in the field. I was brand new to the county, and so I got my feet wet right away to see what was going on in our town, which is unique. What treatment programs do is a person who has an addiction problem goes in and they get treated and help themselves, and then they work on their addiction. What we do is we look at the community conditions that help create those addictions, and also when people leave treatment, they go back into the community that helped create their problem. So we're looking at things like we go into communities, we do a community mapping and see how many liquor stores are in neighborhoods. So then we find out which liquor stores are the problem liquor stores, the ones where there's drug dealing, the ones that sell to under 21-year-old kids. So these are some of the community conditions that we look at. Then we go to the neighborhood and say, hey, you've got too many liquor licenses in your neighborhood. This means that young people are having too much access to alcohol. More alcohol availability creates more alcohol problems. You know, they passed a law that it made it okay to sell alcohol in gas stations, and yet we have no drinking and driving. So how crazy is that?
That is
so
kind of
we
strange.
Speak up about these issues.
So I wanted to be very clear. You're not specifically targeting the gay and lesbian community. You're looking at the general community.
When you look at any issue, you have to look at all the different minority groups. We work in the Latino community, African American community, Asian community, and also we had a tragedy not so long ago in the gay community, and so I went into the community to see if they wanted to mobilize around the issue of methamphetamine, because when a young person dies of a heart attack, that's a red flag for a methamphetamine death. And so we went to the coroner, and yes, that was the case. It was a methamphetamine overdose, and the young man had a heart attack. But the community wasn't ready to face that. There is a big stigma. They said he was such a loved member of the community. We don't want to shame his name.
And I can understand that.
And I'm going,
we do that, but at the same time, wouldn't it be beneficial to know that, yes, this is a real issue? And this is part of the reason I had asked you to be on the show, because I know, in particular, methamphetamine seems to be and I hate to use a judgment word, but it is an affliction of our community. And I wanted to cover that real quickly. What's the difference between use and abuse?
Abuse is a very judgmental term, and so we don't even use that anymore. Because when a person is addicted, they don't have control over their use. And when a person is addicted, people are very judgmental. You're an abuser, you're bad, you're weak, why can't you stop? So-and-so can, why can't you? Well, addiction is a brain disease, and the drug hijacks your brain. And so, you can't help that. And so it's judgmental to say you're an abuser. And who am I to say someone's an abuser or user? So we just say, drug use has consequences. So we stay away from judging the drug and the user, and we try and stay in if you do this, here are some of the consequences. And we try and get people to have compassion for what's going on and not fall into the stigma like what happened in the gay community. Oh no, we don't want to do that.
Right.
We don't want the gay community to be thought of as bad. And this particular person, we loved him. Let's not shame his name and family and blah, blah.
Gabrielle, we could go on and on. There are so many topics I would love to cover, and I really appreciate you coming on the show. Thanks for joining us today. You can watch Gabrielle's weekly show, Perspectives on Healthy Living, here on Create TV San Jose, Channel 15, every Tuesday afternoon at 4 p.m. Gabrielle, thanks again for being here.
Hey, thank you.
And next, Raymond has more details on the San Francisco International LGBT Film Festival.